As a business owner, you have a lot of things on your plate, and I am completely obsessed with making some, most, or all of those things easier for you to do by setting up intentional systems and routines around them. So in this video, I'm going to share with you the 7 types of systems that you need to have set up to be a successful entrepreneur. Hi, my name is ERIN. I am a goals coach and productivity strategist for online entrepreneurs. I help entrepreneurs just like you to save time through simple systems and custom action plans so that you can grow your business without the burnout. As business owners, we all have a lot going on, right? I mean, you are the content creator, you are the bookkeeper, you are the service provider, you are the customer service department, you're doing all the marketing, all the sales, all the finances, all the everything, all the admin, right? You are the CMO, the CFO, the CEO, the entire C-suite, right? And you don't just run your business. You might also be a mom, a wife, a partner, a daughter, a sister, a volunteer, so many other roles and responsibilities that you have, that some of which you've selected, yes, but that still comes with certain responsibilities. So what I don't want is, because you've chosen all those different things, that certain things aren't getting the attention that they deserve, right? And so in being a solopreneur or someone who has a small team, you are having to wear all these hats, numerous hats. And what you want to make sure is that you're not neglecting certain aspects of your business because there are 7 different types of systems in your business that are going to be required in order for you to actually grow successfully. So here are those 7 different types of systems. Once you know what they are, then you can look at what you currently have in place and streamline them if necessary, maybe create a little bit more intentionality around them. But the first stage has to be understanding, what are these 7 systems and what does that actually mean, okay? All right, so the first system I'm going to talk to you about is called personal organization and planning. And this is all about how you run your business, because you are the founder, right? This is your ship to steward. You may have people that you manage. Maybe it is still just you. Either way, how you protect and use your time and make decisions is going to dictate how successful you're able to be as a business owner. And so that is really why I start here. This is going to include things like your schedule, your calendar, how people get meetings on your calendar, how you are actually using all of your time. This includes things like goal setting. It includes things like prioritizing. And yeah, it even includes your mindset, because it's all about, how do you keep this ship moving forward, right? How are you able to keep moving forward, and how do you know which direction that you're going in? So that's the first system. The second system that I want to talk to you a little bit about is internal project management. So as a service-based entrepreneur, online entrepreneur, chances are you have some way of handling all the different things, whether it be something like Asana or Trello, which are softwares that are considered project management softwares. Something like that, or it's just a spreadsheet, or maybe it's just a bunch of notes randomly that you have spread all throughout the place. Chances are you already have something, but all this internal project management system is basically, it shows you how, it lays out exactly how you run all the other aspects and systems in your business, right? So I personally use Asana for this. It is my hub. It is my central hub where I can see all the goals that I have set. Remember, goal setting was part of personal organization and planning. So all the goals that I have set, all the launch plans that I have, all the content creation stuff that I'm creating, like everything about how I do all the things in my business is in one spot. And that's the internal project management system. Now, you don't need a fancy software to make this system work for you. You just have to be willing to figure out what it is that you need from an internal project management system in order to make it work for you, and then streamline that and create that. So again, you probably already have something. Take a look. Is it working for you? Is it not? And then make adjustments accordingly, okay? The third system I want to talk to you about, and this one's everybody's favorite, right? Which is marketing and lead generation. You don't have a business if you don't have clients, right? You, as a service-based online entrepreneur, if you don't have clients, if you don't have people coming in the doors, you don't have a business. And so marketing and lead generation, this is also where I see a lot of business coaches kind of specializing, because this is one of the places where a lot of new entrepreneurs are having a little bit more difficulty figuring out what is a system that works now in the current online world, and what's a system that works for me. And so again, there's no one right way that the system has to look. It has to be something that you're willing to continue to test out and to tweak and make adjustments to, because times are changing, software is changing, trends are changing, and also knowing yourself well enough to know if something's going to truly work for you. So marketing and lead generation is just basically, how are you bringing people into your world so that you can warm them up in order to eventually be able to serve them through a paid service or product, right? So that goes really, really well with system number 4, which is your sales system. Now, the difference between marketing and lead generation and sales is marketing and lead generation is about getting them in the room, getting them in your circle of influence, in your bubble, so that when the time is right, you can bring them across that threshold and actually create a client out of them, right? That's the sales process. So the sales process is taking that warm lead and actually turning them into a client. And this is another one of those systems. This is another one of those aspects where a lot of, again, online business coaches are kind of, staking their ground, because it leads to dollars, right? So it's easy to communicate the value of that, right? So marketing and lead generation and sales kind of go together, but they're two distinct systems, because the outcome behind each of them is a little bit different, okay? They might play really nicely together, and they really should play nicely together, but they are two unique systems that can be streamlined and optimized on their own, okay? System number 5. System number 5 is probably one that you're already pretty darn good at, and that's client delivery. This is the system that many online entrepreneurs, service-based entrepreneurs thrive at, because this is where they're in their zone of genius, right? I get to do the thing that people pay me to do. Like, people pay me to coach them. That's when I'm in my zone of genius, is actually coaching people or creating content around solving their problems, and not, that's my zone of genius, right? And chances are, whether you're a graphic designer, a photographer, or another coach or a consultant, or whatever it is that you do, the client delivery aspect, the client delivery system is something you probably have spent more time on than anything else. And there's nothing wrong with that. But it also does not mean that there's not some improvements to be made. The main thing here is making sure that you're being intentional and streamlining things so that your client delivery, which goes all the way from onboarding, meaning they pay you, sign the contract, all of that, all the way through when you're delivering, the offboarding, all of that. So every single meeting in between, all the aspects, everything that you're doing, all the communication, that is all client delivery. So there's lots of opportunities to make tweaks and make changes and make edits and streamline so that it's delightful for your clients and it's user-friendly for you. Okay, let's talk about system number 6. We're getting so close. I'm so excited. But system number 6 is the one that I see so many people avoiding, which is the finance/operations systems. So these systems are the ones that I see most people, especially newer entrepreneurs, kind of being like, yeah, I'll get to that later. It's the finances, it's the legal and the compliance pieces of the puzzle, right? You have a business, but maybe it's not profitable, or maybe you're not paying yourself, or maybe you have no idea how much money you brought in, or how, or from whom, or why, or where all the money is going, anything like that. So if this is you, know that it's okay and you're not alone, but this is your opportunity to take a look at those systems and make sure that moving forward, it's set up for you to actually be able to grow. Now, this does not mean you have to identify as a numbers person. It just means making sure that you have a few things in place. having some sort of bookkeeping practice. Again, if you need software, don't need software, it's completely dependent on where you are, and what you technically need is going to be different based on person to person. But this is also, do you need a business license? Do you need to set up an LLC or a different type of business entity? Are there specific things that you need to make sure you're applying for? Do you need an EIN? Taxes are a big part of this. So make sure this is an opportunity for you to kind of look at and actually dive into what are the things that I've been avoiding in my business, and how can I set up streamlined systems around them so it's not something I dread, it's just something that gets done, right? And then the 7th and final system. Now, I think this one's going to surprise a lot of people, because it's going to be like, wait, what? How is that related to my business? And then you'll be like, well, why didn't it fit under system 1? So let me just tell you what it is, so you can draw your own conclusions, so I can talk you through it. So the 7th system is energy management. Okay, so energy management, that means you as a human being, how are you managing your energy? How are you managing the energy that you have, and how are you increasing the energy that you have available? And I don't mean that in like a natural gas kind of a way. I mean you as a human, your ability to do the things, the ability for you to be able to sit down and get the most out of the time that you have available, right? Get the biggest bang for your buck, for the hour that you have. Make sure your output is as great as it can be. So the reason this is different from being under the personal organization and planning is because it's one of those things that doesn't get enough of a focus and a spotlight as entrepreneurs. It's becoming more and more regular, but again, I'm talking about it all the time, so maybe that's why it seems that way. But the reason it's different is I feel like the organization and planning aspect is about how you are really managing the pieces of things around other people's circumstances, right? It's your schedule, it's goals, it's vision casting and things like that. Energy management is going to be a little bit different because it is 100% controlled by you. It includes things like sleep, nutrition, food, spiritual well-being, emotional well-being, your mental health. It includes all of these different pieces to make sure that you are feeling fulfilled, you have the physical energy necessary, you have the emotional energy necessary, and that you can actually sit down and get things done when your planning and personal organization system has set you up to be able to work. Now, they just like all these systems, your energy management system and your personal organization and planning system are going to play together, right? And if you optimize one of these systems, the other systems are going to be affected, usually in a very positive way. So the idea here is I've just given you 7 different systems, types of systems. Some of them have multiple pieces underneath them that you need to be intentional about, because chances are you already have systems. They just may not be serving you or supporting you. And that's the most important part. And so the hardest part about this is, where do I start? Right? It's okay, I know I need help on multiple systems, if not all 7. Where in the world do I start? I would say start with what you're most comfortable with. Out of all 7 systems, what is the one system where you're like, okay, I feel pretty good about this one? It's probably going to be client delivery, but you have to make that decision. Start there. Start making small tweaks to make sure that it's streamlined and it's serving your clients, delighting them, giving them the best possible experience while also being user-friendly for yourself, okay? If it's not client delivery, take the concept of what I'm saying and apply it to whatever system it is. Now, if the idea of trying to do all of this on your own is still feeling completely overwhelming, but you're ready for a little bit of help, and you know that this is your next step to get your systems totally streamlined because you're ready to grow, but something's got to give, right? Let me know, because I want to invite you to book a free clarity call, because I actually have something specifically that is set up to help you streamline your systems so you can become productive, you can grow your business, and you can be the streamlined CEO that you were truly meant to be. So if that's you, I'm going to drop the link in the description below for you to book a free clarity call to see if this is your right next step for you and your business, okay? This clarity call, 10 to 20 minutes, just a few questions to see if you're at the right spot to really take what I have for you and run with it, okay? So book the call at the link in the description.